When I bought my first home, I knew I wanted to be smart about the type of property I purchased. I just wasn't thinking about where I would live, I was also thinking about what this decision could do for my future. That first home opened doors I never thought were possible, and it became the foundation for my journey into real estate investing. And because of it, I was able to build a rental portfolio and triple my teaching salary in just 4 years. Now, I'm not just an investor, I'm also a licensed Utah realtor. I've helped countless first-time homebuyers find the right home while avoiding costly mistakes, and today I want to help you do the same exact thing. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 5 biggest mistakes first-time homebuyers make and how you can avoid them to set yourself up for long-term success. If this sounds like the kind of advice you need, then make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. I share weekly tips for first-time buyers and future investors, and as a Utah realtor, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. All right, let's get into it. The first mistake, and probably the most common one, is letting fear hold you back. Buying your first home can feel overwhelming, and there's so much to think about: finances, maintenance, the market. But fear really shouldn't stop you from making progress, and let me tell you why. Let's start with renting versus owning. Renting has some clear benefits, it's flexible, and you don't have to worry about maintenance, but every rent check you write is like paying 100% interest, and that money is gone forever. Here's the math. If you're paying $2,000 a month in rent, that's $24,000 a year going towards your landlord's house, not yours. Over 5 years, that's $120,000. What could you do with $120,000 if that money had stayed in your pocket? Now let's imagine that $2,000 a month was going towards your own home. Not only are you building equity, which you can cash out later, but also you're benefiting from appreciation. Homes typically increase in value over time, meaning your investment is growing while you're living there. If I had let fear stop me, or if I waited for the perfect time to buy, I don't think I would be where I am today. Buying my first home wasn't easy. I had a lot of the same fears many of my clients do, but I tell them what I learned for myself. If you can afford a home and it works for your personal life, you should buy as soon as you can. The longer you spend in the market, the better off you will be. Which brings me to another common fear I see with first-time home buyers: waiting for the perfect time to buy. But let me tell you something, there is no such thing as the perfect time. The longer you wait, the more equity and appreciation you are missing out on. Real estate has always been a long-term game. Home values tend to rise over time, and every month you're paying rent instead of a mortgage is a month you're not building equity. It's not about timing the market perfectly, it's more about spending time in the market, owning a home in the market for a longer period of time. Another fear I hear all the time is about maintenance. What happens if something breaks? What if it's too expensive for me? These are valid concerns, but owning your own home actually gives you more control. When you own, you don't have to wait for your landlord to decide when or even if they're going to fix something. You're in control. You can fix things on your own timeline, paint the walls whatever color you want, and decide what's important to you. It's your house and you get to call the shots. There are also ways to make maintenance more manageable. For example, you can get a home warranty for about $600 a year, and it's like insurance for your appliances and systems in your house. So if your water heater breaks or you have a leak, you only pay a small copay to have it repaired or replaced. It's a great option for first-time homebuyers who want a little extra peace of mind. And when you're buying, we can even get the sellers to pay for it. So here's the bottom line. Renting might feel easier in the short term, but it's costing you more in the long run. Owning a home might come with responsibilities, but it gives you control, stability, and the ability to build wealth for your future. If you are in Utah and wondering whether now is the right time for you to buy, let's talk. Send me a text, my number's in the description. I would love to help you figure out what makes sense for you and your situation. Don't let fear hold you back from taking that first step. Mistake number 2 first-time homebuyers make is not thinking of your first home as an investment. When I bought my first home, I like to say I accidentally house hacked. At the time, I didn't even know what house hacking was, but I knew that I didn't want to pay the whole mortgage myself. So finding a house with dual living spaces was a no-brainer for me. It allowed me to offset my mortgage payment by renting out part of the home. But I didn't stop there. The house I bought needed a lot of work. It was definitely a fixer-upper, so I rolled up my sleeves, put in sweat equity, made sacrifices, and over time, I made a lot of improvements. Between the appreciation of the market and the upgrades I made, I ended up with $150,000 in equity just from that first home. That one decision to buy a home with potential for value add and to rent out part of it completely changed my life. It gave me the foundation to build a rental portfolio and grow my wealth faster than I ever thought possible. My plan was never to be an investor. I just wanted to buy a home that I could afford and be financially savvy, but it ended up being one of the smartest decisions I ever made. In my opinion, one of the best ways to make your first home work for you is through a strategy called house hacking. House hacking means living in part of your home while renting out the other part, like a duplex, a finished basement, or even spare bedrooms. With house hacking, you can significantly reduce your mortgage and in some cases, even live for free. Imagine having a tenant help cover most, if not all, of your monthly payment, and while they're paying rent, you're building equity in a home that you own and getting tax benefits. So here's an example. Let's say your mortgage is $2,000 a month. If you rent out your basement for $1,200 a month, you're only paying $800 out of pocket every month on your mortgage. And that's money saved, but it's also building equity in a house for you. Another smart move for first-time home buyers is looking for value-add opportunities, homes that need a little bit of love. These properties where you can put in sweat equity to make improvements and significantly increase the home's value. For example, maybe the house needs new floors, fresh paint, or landscaping. These are relatively low-cost fixes that can dramatically increase your equity over time, and you could probably do it yourself. And the best part, you're building that value for yourself. Buying a value-add property not only gives you a chance to customize your home, but also sets you up for financial growth. It's an investment in your future, and it pays off in more ways than one. Another way to think of your first home as an investment is by starting with a starter home. Your first home doesn't have to be your dream home. It's your starter home. It's a foundation for your future. Starter homes are typically more affordable, which makes them a great way to get your foot in the door, literally, as you build equity and the home appreciates in value. You'll have more options down the line, like upgrading to a larger property or even turning your starter home into a rental. Think of your first home as a stepping stone. It's not about having everything perfect. It's about getting started in the market and letting time and appreciation work in your favor. If you want to dive deeper into house hacking and learn how it can help you live for less while building wealth, I actually have a free course, and I'll put the link in the description below. It's packed with tips to help you make your first home work for you, so make sure to check that out. Mistake number 3 is not fully understanding the cost of home ownership. Buying a home is exciting, but it's more than just paying your mortgage each month. It comes with hidden costs that can really surprise first-time homebuyers. Let's break it all down. There are several costs you need to account for when buying a home, so let's start with the upfront costs, your down payment and closing costs. Depending on the loan program, your down payment could be as little as 0% with some first-time homebuyer programs. However, a good rule of thumb is to plan for 3.5% to 5% of the home's price. For example, on a $300,000 house, that's going to be $10,500 to $15,000. Next, your closing costs. These typically range from $7,000 to $10,000 depending on the price of the home and where you're buying. Closing costs cover things like lender fees, title insurance, prepaid taxes, and insurance. Be sure to budget for these upfront costs so you're not caught off guard with an additional $7,000 to $10,000. Oftentimes, as a buyer, you can ask for these closing costs to be covered by the seller, but it's still good to plan for them and know that that's a potential cost you could have. Now let's talk about ongoing costs that come with your monthly mortgage payment. These include principal, interest, and taxes, insurance, possibly PMI or HOA fees. Taxes and insurance are typically factored into your escrow account, which will make them part of your total monthly mortgage payment. Homeowners insurance protects your home, and property taxes depends on your home's value and where you live. If you're putting down less than 20%, you'll likely have to pay a PMI or private mortgage insurance, and PMI protects the lender, not you, but it is required with a lower down payment, and this can be anywhere from $50 to $200 or maybe even more a month, depending on your loan amount. Lastly, HOA fees. If you're buying in a community with a homeowners association, you'll have to pay monthly or annual fees. These can range from $50 to $100 or maybe even several $100s a month depending on the neighborhood and the amenities included. Make sure to ask about these when looking at homes. So, how do you make sure you're ready for all these costs? Start by planning your budget carefully. A good rule of thumb is to set aside 1 to 2% of your home's value annually for maintenance. For example, if your home is worth $300,000, that's about $3,000 to $6,000 a year, or roughly $250 to $500 a month. And always leave a little bit of cushion in your budget for unexpected expenses. Things like fixing a leaky faucet or replacing an appliance can happen, but with the right planning, they won't derail your finances. Again, if you are in Utah and are feeling overwhelmed by all these numbers, let's talk. Text me. My number is in the description, and I'll help you break everything down from closing costs to monthly payments so you can go into the process with confidence. Mistake number 4 is ignoring the importance of location. A home might check all your boxes, but if it's in the wrong area, it can cause major headaches down the road. Let's talk about why location matters just as much as the house itself, and how to find the right balance for your goals. When evaluating a home's location, there are a few key factors to consider. First, look at the job market. Is the area growing? Are there stable employers nearby? A strong local economy attracts people to the area, which increases demand for housing and rent and helps your property value grow over time. Next, consider safety. Low crime rates are a big factor for both homeowners and future buyers. If you decide to sell later on, be sure to check online tools or ask about local crime statistics when researching neighborhoods. Schools are another major consideration, especially if you have or plan to have kids. Even if you don't, homes in good school districts tend to hold their value better and attract more buyers down the line. Finally, think about accessibility to amenities like shopping, healthcare, recreation, and dining. You want to be in a location that's convenient and fits your lifestyle. A home that's close to what you need will make your life easier and attract future buyers if you ever sell or rent. Now, here's an important point I like to share with my clients. It's not always the bougie areas you need to aim for. I started in a B-, maybe even C+ neighborhood, and I still got good tenants. Over time, I worked my way to nicer neighborhoods, but starting where I did gave me the opportunity to grow. You'll be able to find tenants in almost any neighborhood. The key is to ask yourself if the location will attract the type of tenant you don't want to deal with. For example, in Utah, some great B-class neighborhoods include Taylorsville, Mill Creek, and Murray. These areas offer affordable options and are often perfect for first-time buyers who want to balance cost with quality of life. So look at your budget and think about what your goals are. Whether you're looking to live in the home or turn it into a rental, the location really should align with your vision for the future. And always remember, you can fix up a home, but you can't fix its location. Be sure to think long-term about the area's potential. Are there new developments happening nearby? Is the community growing or declining? Even if this is your forever home, buying in the right location ensures your investment holds its value over time. Location plays a huge role in how much your home appreciates, how easy it is to sell, and how happy you'll be living there. So don't settle for a great house in a location that won't work for you because it's just not worth it. Lastly, mistake number 5 first-time homebuyers make is trying to do everything themselves. Buying a home is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make, and having the right team makes all the difference, not just when buying the home, but when maintaining it as well. A lot of first-time homebuyers think they can handle the process on their own, but here's the thing. Buying a home is more complex than it seems. From negotiating the best price to navigating inspections and closing costs, a good realtor brings experience and insight that can save you time, stress, and money. Trying to handle all this yourself can lead to missed opportunities, costly mistakes, and more headaches than it's worth. For example, a realtor knows how to spot red flags in a home, understands the local market to help you avoid overpaying, and can negotiate on your behalf to get the best deal. The right realtor won't just help you buy a home, they'll also educate you along the way. A great realtor will guide you to look at your home as an investment, not just a place to live, helping you make smarter financial decisions. Another area where you don't have to do it all yourself is when it comes to maintenance and repairs. Owning a home means things will break or need attention, but that doesn't mean you have to tackle everything on your own. Here's what I tell my clients when deciding whether to DIY or hire out a repair: consider three things: cost, time, and risk. First, ask yourself, what will it cost me to hire this out? And is that worth my time saved? For example, if a repair will take you 8 hours on a weekend, but a professional could do it in 2 hours for $200, think about your own hourly rate. Is this time worth more than what you'd pay a pro? Often, the answer is yes. Second, think about the risk. Is this something that could damage your home if done incorrectly? For example, improper plumbing or electrical work can lead to expensive damage or even safety hazards. If the job is dangerous or high risk, it's almost always better to hire a professional. Remember, your goal is to maintain your home's value and keep it safe. Knowing when to call in a pro will save you time, money, and stress in the long run. If this was helpful, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more real estate tips and strategies. I post weekly videos to help first-time homebuyers and aspiring investors make smarter decisions. If you're curious about house hacking and how it can help you live for less while building wealth, please check out my free course. It's linked in the description below. And if you're buying or selling in Utah, text me. My number is in the description. Whether you're looking for your dream home or your next investment, I would seriously love to help you make it happen.